Every single day, it feels like Rangers are inching closer to a brand new chapter at Ibrox. The mood around Govan is shifting, and it's not just wishful thinking. The takeover by 49ers Enterprises is gathering pace, and while this season might be remembered for heartbreaking near misses, there's a growing sense that the winds of change are finally blowing through the famous marble halls of Ibrox. It's not been the season many had hoped for. A tough exit from the Europa League at the hands of Athletic Club and a domestic campaign that sees them trail Celtic by a whopping 15 points has left fans frustrated and weary. But despite the gloom of recent results, there's a flicker of optimism, an ember of belief that something better is on the horizon. It might be another year without silverware, but there's a buzz building around the prospect of real structural change, and that's coming directly from the involvement of the American investment group 49ers Enterprises. They're no strangers to revivals, having already played a key role in the rise of Leeds United, taking the English club from chaos to contention. Now their sights are firmly set on Govan, and according to folk inside the club, the plan is not just to spend, but to build properly, methodically, and with an eye on long-term success. Former England keeper Paul Robinson, who's kept a keen eye on the 49ers' influence down south, reckons Rangers fans have every reason to be excited. Speak to anyone who's seen what they've done at Ellen Road, and you'll hear the same. Story is no about flash cash or throwing money around for the sake of it. It's about smart investments, picking the right battles, and creating a club structure that can weather any storm. At Leeds, that meant bringing in high-profile investors, forging groundbreaking partnerships like the one with Red Bull, and spending wisely on players who actually move the needle. That's the vision being whispered around Ibrox now. A strategy that combines financial discipline with ambition, a focus on sustainable growth instead of reckless gambles. Reports suggest the incoming manager, set to be announced after Barry Ferguson's interim spell, will have a healthy budget of around £25 million to work with this summer. And that's no pocket change in Scottish football. It's a statement, a declaration that the blue side of Glasgow is done with standing still. But it's no just about new faces. It's about holding on to key players too. Midfielder Nico Raskin, one of the standout performers this season, is already drawing attention from clubs across the continent. Same goes for the likes of Hamay. Ginn. The challenge for Rangers will be to strike a balance, keeping the core strong while adding genuine quality that can lift the squad to the next level. The kind of measured rebuild that doesn't just aim for next season's title, but lays the foundations for years of dominance both at home and in Europe. The timing of all this couldn't be more crucial, especially with potential changes in how Rangers qualify for next season's UEFA Champions League. Ironically, their fate might partially rest in the hands of the same team that just knocked them out of Europe, Athletic Club. The Basque side ended Rangers' Europa League dream with a 2-0 win at San Mamés, but they could still do them a massive favor. If Athletic go on to win the tournament and secure Champions League football through their domestic position, currently sitting 4th in La Liga and 5 points ahead of Villarreal, Rangers could be handed a golden ticket. Under UEFA's rules, if the Europa League winner has already qualified for the Champions League via their league, the spot they get through the Europa League win is redistributed based on coefficient rankings. And in that scenario, Rangers would be bumped up to the champions' path of qualification. That's a big deal. It means entering the tournament one round later, facing potentially easier opposition and giving themselves a better shot at reaching the group stage where the real money and prestige lie. Right now, the Ibrox side would have to go through the league path starting in the second round against teams like Servette Bran or Austria Vienna. Tricky ties, no doubt. And if they fall short there, the drop into the Europa League playoffs looms, with the Conference League beckoning if things go truly sideways. But if Athletic win the Europa League and finish top 4 in Spain, Rangers' path gets smoother. So for once, fans might find themselves cheering on a team that caused them so much pain. It's a strange situation. But that's the nature of modern European football. Twists and turns, and every now and then a bit of fortune from unexpected places. And if there's one thing Rangers could use right now, it's a bit of luck. Because what's clear is that the club stands at a crossroads. The past few years have been filled with false dawns and stop-start progress, but the arrival of the 49ers feels different. There's purpose behind the move, a clear vision, and perhaps most importantly, money to back it up. Robinson's words echo the feelings of many in football. This isn't a group that throws cash around for headlines. They build things solidly, sensibly, and when you do that, success becomes sustainable. Look at what's happened at Leeds. The transformation was nay immediate, but it was deep. Culture changed, expectations changed, and investment followed. If Rangers can mirror even half of that blueprint, the future could be very bright indeed. The idea is not just they close the gap, they Celtic, but they leap ahead, dominate. And they do that, they'll need to build more than just a good team. They'll need infrastructure, recruitment pathways, a scouting network that actually functions, a commercial strategy that elevates the brand beyond Scotland. All of that takes time and patience, and let's be honest, some trial and error. But with the 49ers at the helm, there's finally a feeling that the club might actually be ready to go through that process. Properly, professionally. For now, the focus remains on finishing the season as strongly as possible, holding on to second place and keeping the European dream alive. But behind the scenes, the wheels are already turning. Meetings are happening. Plans are being drawn up. And players no doubt are being watched. The final weeks of the season might feel like a slow march toward inevitability, but the real story, the one that'll shape the next 5 or 10 years of Rangers Football Club, is just beginning to unfold. And for supporters who've endured years of chaos, mismanagement, and missed opportunities, that's more than enough reason to believe again. It's mad really when you think about it. How a club like Rangers, steeped in history and burdened with expectations heavier than the Govan Cranes, finds itself in a place where the future finally feels like something to look forward to instead of just surviving. That's not been the case for years. The glory days, the 90 narrow to treble chases, they feel like memories kept in old photo albums, faded but no forgotten. And now, after years of flirting with hope and crashing back down, there's something tangible in the air. Something that smells like real ambition. Behind the scenes, the word is that everything's being prepared for a full transition come the end of the campaign. Barry Ferguson's in the dugout, now steering the ship through choppy waters until the summer. But everybody knows his spell's just temporary. He's a legend, no doubt, a fighter. But the board and the investors are planning something bigger. Someone with a project in mind. A manager that fits the long-term vision, not just a stopgap. The whispers are growing louder. Names are floating the boot. Some from Europe, some from England. But the profile is clear. Someone modern, someone tactical, and above all, someone who can work under a structure. Name more scattergun approaches to signings. Name more panic buys in the last days of the window. The next gaffer will need to be part of the rebuild, no above it. And it's no just about who's in the dugout. The word is the 49ers. 49ers want Rangers to modernize across the board. New recruitment models, advanced data usage, analytics, performance metrics, even AI-powered scouting software. It sounds wild, but that's where football's heading. Ye either move with the times or you get left behind. Celtic, for all the rivalry and bitterness, got ahead in that department. They built structures. They scouted better. They adapted. Now it's Rangers' turn. Ty do the same, but better. Financially, the club's nay in bad shape, but there's work that be done. The hope is that the 49ers network will open commercial. Doors that Rangers never even knocked on before. Global partnerships, preseason tours beyond the usual haunts. Merchandising with real strategy behind it. Imagine a Rangers branded store in New York or San Francisco. No, just a dream, but a project. That's the sort of horizon they're looking at. And here's the thing, it's not just the fans that are hungry for change. The players feel it too. You can tell by the way they talk in interviews, there's a restlessness, a sense that they want to be part of something bigger, but they need leadership to match that ambition. Guys like Raskin and Cantwell, they're not just here to collect a wage. They want to win. They want to play in the Champions League week in, week out, not just once every couple of seasons. There's also a growing focus on youth. The 49ers are said to be keen on developing a proper pathway from the academy to the first team, something that's been sorely missing. Too many talented young lads falling through the cracks because there's no clear route. That's nay sustainable. If Rangers are going to compete on a European level, they can't just buy their way to success. They need to build it from within. The talent's there. It always has been. What's been missing is the system, One of the major headaches right now is the squad size and quality. Too many bodies, no enough difference makers. That's why the summer window is crucial. There'll be outs, plenty of them. Players who've been hanging on, not delivering, drawing a wage, but no providing value. It's harsh, but it's reality. The new regime won't have room for sentiment. Perform or go. That's the message, frankly, is long overdue. There's also the question of Europe. If Rangers do get that Champions League path, thanks. TA Athletic Club, or otherwise it could mean a whole different financial outlook for the summer. The prize money, the exposure, the attraction for potential signings, it all jumps up a level. But even if they don't, the club can afford to treat the Europa League or even the Conference League as second best. These are platforms, stages, where reputations are built and money is made. Think of what Eintracht Frankfurt did. Think of what Sevilla continue to do. Rangers have to find that same identity in Europe again. And let's not forget the fans, the most loyal, passionate, and demanding support in the country. They've stuck through thick and thin, from the third division days to the highs of 2022 and the lows that followed. They deserve clarity. They deserve a club that communicates, that plans, that delivers. Nay more excuses, nay more backroom chaos or boardroom silence. The players who remain the staff behind the scenes, even the tea ladies and kitmen, they all know what's at stake. Rangers is more than just a club. It's a symbol, a way of life. And when it's run properly, when the football's right, and the energy's right, there's nothing like it. You feel it in the stands. You feel it on Edmiston Drive. You feel it when that anthem plays under the floodlights and the place erupts in song. So here we are at the edge of something. It might take time. There will be stumbles, mistakes, maybe even setbacks. But there's a plan now, a vision, and most importantly, a will to execute it. The final matches of the season, they still matter. Pride's on the line, Europe's on the line, and there's always the Celtic rivalry that turns everything up a notch. But deep down, everyone knows the real battle starts in the summer. That's when Rangers will rise or fall based on the choices they make. That's when we'll see if this 49ers involvement is just noise or the real rebirth of a Scottish giant. Because make no mistake, the pieces are there. The foundations can be laid. And if it all clicks, if the manager is right, the signings are smart, and the vision stays clear, then we could be talking about a new era at Ibrox. One where Rangers no longer play catch-up but set the pace. And when that happens, you'll hear it from every corner of Glasgow. The roar, the belief, the noise that only Rangers can make. It'll start in the Copland and ripple through the Govan and end up in the hearts of bears all across the world. And maybe, just maybe, the glory days will no just be memories anymore. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to get all the exclusive news about Rangers FC. Don't overlook any details about your beloved team. Is crucial for Rangers FC fans. Rangers manager Barry Ferguson has stirred the pot with a blunt admission that could shake the Ibrox dressing room. In a post-match interview laced with frustration and honesty, the former club captain turned coach revealed that there are 2 players harming the squad. The comment, dropped almost casually, quickly ignited speculation and raised eyebrows among pundits and supporters alike. Ferguson, never one to shy away from speaking his mind, seemed determined to make it clear that he's no longer willing to tiptoe around underperformance or a lack of commitment. While he stopped short of naming names, the tone was unmistakably stern. According to those close to the club, the manager has grown increasingly concerned about the attitude and application of a small faction within the squad. Players he believes are not only failing to pull their weight, but actively undermining the collective effort. The timing of Ferguson's statement couldn't be more significant. With the league entering its decisive stretch and Rangers locked in a tight title race, the pressure has mounted with each passing fixture. There's little room for error and even less for internal unrest. Ferguson, who built his playing legacy on grit and leadership, appears set on fostering a squad where every player is fully bought into the club's values and ambitions. Inside sources suggest that tension has been simmering in training sessions for weeks. Certain individuals are said to have clashed with teammates, and their influence has allegedly created friction behind the scenes. Ferguson's words may well be a warning shot, both to those in question and to the rest of the squad. If there's a message here, it's clear. The manager won't hesitate to make bold decisions if it means protecting the integrity of the group. The coming days will be telling. Whether Ferguson opts to act decisively and remove the disruptive influences, or whether he believes the situation can still be salvaged, remains to be seen. What is certain is that the Rangers boss has drawn a line in the sand. At a club where standards are non-negotiable and history looms large, there's little patience for those who fall short. Greetings, fans. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, as it's greatly appreciated by Rangers FC. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments section below. Until the next video, stay tuned.